Jody Real says, how to make a marriage work if one spouse is an introvert and the other is outgoing and very social? Great question. I'm an introvert. My wife is kind of in the middle, but I think she's more introverted too. But I think she's more extroverted than I am. So I can speak a little bit to this. Supernaturally, the marriage works. Supernaturally. If all you input into your marriage is natural ability, natural understanding, and you don't allow the supernatural work of the Holy Spirit to guide it, that marriage will become frustrating by the hour. But when you allow the Holy Spirit to supernaturally bring the two together, as y'all get to know each other and have grace for each other and have a patience with each other and have a plan with each other, then the marriage won't work. So here's some things you got to think about. If your spouse is introverted, you got to give her or him that space to be who they are. Because if you try to cause them to come all the way on your side versus having the idea of compromise, then you won't find yourself where your marriage won't be founded and solid. What I mean by that is compromise is important in marriage. You have to say, okay, what is the common ground? Where can we meet? Where can we meet in the middle? Selfishness says, hey, I need you to always do how I do things, right? I need you to come all the way over to here so I can be comfortable. But nothing grows in comfort zones, especially in marriage. You got to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, because the uncomfortableness of marriage will pull the depths of patience out of you. See, the natural interactions of marriage should be the thing that pulls the spiritual gifts out of you, the spiritual fruit out of you, right? Like the conflict of marriage, the tension of marriage, the compromise of marriage is the very tension needed to pull the treasures of love out of you, joy out of you, because human love, human joy, human peace, human patience or long suffering, human kindness, human gentleness, human self-control is short-lived. The spiritual gifts, the spiritual fruit, the fruit of the Spirit, that thing can transcend even frustrational periods in your marriage, because that is the tension of being uncomfortable or discomfort that drains out of you that supernatural love to compromise, that supernatural joy to say, I want to serve you in your extrovertism. I want to serve you in your introvertism. I see the reasons why I should give you this time, etc. Only by the Spirit of God will you be able to find that unique balance as you go through marriage. Next, you got to develop a plan and say, okay, what times of the day, what times of the week, what times of the month, what times of the quarter, what times of the year are you like this? So I can understand and not get frustrated because of selfishness. Next, before you even get to the plan, you got to look and peek inside of yourself and ask them, is there any selfishness in me? Is there a lack of compromise in me? Wherever there's lack is a reflection that you haven't gone back to God often, that you and God haven't been talking often, that you and God haven't been fellowshipping often for you to cultivate a relationship with the Spirit of God to open the doors for you to operate more in the supernatural spiritual fruit of love, joy, peace, patience, etc., right? Because self-control, it's going to be hard to have self-control with your words, self-control with your emotions if you're not able to do it. Let's look at the fruit of the Spirit real quick in order. Fruit of the Spirit. Let's look at it. Let me see. Is this in order? Because there's one thing that God showed me recently, man, and it was very profound. Is this it? All right. Can y'all see me? Okay, good. I'm on another screen. Oh, I can make this smaller. All right. So basically, the last fruit of the Spirit, right, is self-control, right? Let me help make this plain. Now, notice it says the fruit of the Spirit, not the fruits of the Spirit. It's not like each one is a fruit by itself. It's a fruit, meaning that one can't happen without the other, right? So the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience. Let me make sure I find love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Notice the order. You can't have self-control if you're not gentle. You can't be gentle unless you're faithful. You cannot have goodness without kindness. You can't have kindness without patience. You can't have patience without peace. You can't have peace without joy, and you can't have joy without love, right? So in order for marriage to work, you need the fruit of the Spirit activated. So number one, the love of God casts out all fear. The love of God, the perfect love of God casts out all fear. So the reason why we want them to come all the way over to our pier of the place is because of fear. I'm afraid that this person may abandon me. I'm afraid that I can't be who I am unless you are like I am, unless you're more like me, right? But if you allow the love of God to perfect out of you that fear, then you will become joyful. You'll become content in God because you have been overshadowed and overwhelmed by the love of God. The love of God then produces joy, contentment. When you're at a place of joy, you naturally find yourself more peaceful. No matter what pressures or wind comes in your life, the joy of the Lord is your strength, and you know that you're loved by God. A person who knows they're loved by God and has a joy of God, they are strengthened to not be pressed by anything. Therefore, they have the peace of God that surpasses all understanding. Now, when you have the peace of God, now when you're at a place of peace, you are more patient. When I'm in a grocery store and I'm in a state of peace, it doesn't matter how long the line is, because I know that God orchestrates my steps. I'm at a place of peace because the joy of the Lord is my strength. Therefore, I can sit in that long line and be more patient with my wife, be more patient with people, because I understand I'm at peace because I got the joy of the Lord and I don't have no fear in me because the love has cast it out of me. Then when you are more patient, you are typically more kind. You have enough bandwidth and strength to be more kind. Then when you're a kind person, you tend to do more good things. And when you do more good things, you begin to see the impact of it, and you become more faithful at being good, more faithful at being kind, more faithful at being patient, more faithful at being at joy, etc., etc. Then when you are faithful, then you are more of a gentle person because you see the fruit of your faithfulness and how it impacts others. Then you are more gentle. And when you are more gentle, you don't find yourself not self-controlled. You don't find yourself overbearing, cussing, yelling, talking, doing more emotional things because you're more self-controlled. That's how you find the balance in marriage, right? That's how you find the supernatural control of the Holy Spirit operating in your marriage. And you'll begin to say, man, we have more in the carriage. We have more to give. We have more to give to each other, right? So I say all that to say that when you have the supernatural work of the Holy Spirit in your life, you will begin to see how introverts and extroverts can go together. You, as an introvert, I'm believing, when your wife wants to be more socially and she wants to be more out there, you begin to see you'll begin to see the gleam in her eye more so than the frustration in your heart. And then you have already had a plan to say, okay, you know that after I do this for you, I need to go and recharge, so that when she comes back home, she not all in your face. She'll let you go your way and do what you got to do because y'all understand each other. This is what I would tell all couples to do, is to do that personality test, 16personalities.com. Because the more you begin to understand yourself, 16personalities.com, once you begin to see how God wired you, then you guys won't expire you. You guys won't fall into that trap. You will be more inspiring to each other because that's how God wired you. Who am I to rewire you? Hope to help. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to engage more content, make sure you check out the videos over here. If you're going to learn more about the books that I've written or the cards that I've created or ways you can support and engage with what I do online, make sure you check out the links in the description box below. And if you've been watching this far, you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell, and make sure you leave a comment. I would love to read it and would love to engage and be your coach online. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.